Morning, everyone, and thank you for taking some time out of your day to join us. Today, I am joined by Thompson from SILAC, and we've got some really exciting things to share with you about some updates on their products and a few other things that they have going on over there. Before we get into all that, though, I do want to uh, share with you some things about us over here at IMES. One of the reasons why agents love working with us over here um, is if you call in, you're always going to get a real person on the phone. Remember, you can give us a call, 800-255-5055. Always going to be a live person. You'll never have to deal with a dial by name directory. And that's just kind of how we kick off our best in class customer service. Keep in mind, we will also have 3 poll questions for you here today. And we have changed up those questions a bit. So if you've attended webinars in the past, they will be a little bit different. So be sure to participate in those. And got some really great things that we're going to dive into with you here. So getting right into it. A few reasons why agents love working with us here at IMES. We'll start off with our new producer builders. This program is for those of you who are new to IMES. These bonuses are available based on your production level in your first 180 days of contracting with us. We do have different levels that you can qualify at, and as you can see, inside each level are some great options for you. We've got incredible business building tools, personal perks for you, and even cash rewards available. So if you'd like to know where you stand towards your new producer builder, or if you would like to have a conversation about how to achieve the next level, please just give us a call over here. We'll be happy to chat with you about that. Another business builders program that we provide for our agents is our referred producer program. I do see a couple advisors on with us here today that have already taken advantage of this program, but our business on the wholesale side of the industry is similar to yours in the field in that one of the best leads, that we can ever obtain is a referral from one of our valued producers. And this is why we want to make it worth your while to refer a producer to us. So when you refer one and they get contracted, we're going to cut you a $50 thank you check. But where the real money comes in is as your referral writes business, you're going to receive an override on that business. Our ownership team, Charles, Steve, Curtis, and Chris, sign checks for thousands of dollars every quarter. So if you can think of anyone that would benefit from doing business with our team, please just put their information into that questions box, or you can certainly email me with their information, and I'd be happy to chat with them about how we can get them started here at IMES. Below the referred producer program is our marketing reimbursement program, which is one of the most popular programs that we offer here at IMES. For every $100,000 of FIA premium that you submit here, we're going to get you $100 in your marketing reimbursement account. And why this is so popular and lucrative for our advisors is that we truly do consider this to be your money. You have the flexibility on what services, when and who you can use these funds with. It is your marketing reimbursement. We don't tell you the vendors that you have to use. We do recommend vendors that we partner with and leverage some reduced rates and preferred service. We do also have our creative team here to create a marketing strategy and provide in-house services for you. So if you'd like to know how much is in your marketing reimbursement account or have a conversation about how to utilize it, just give your sales director a call and we'd be happy to chat with you about that as well. Next up is our back office support. This is another way that we add value to your business, and it's a core value of how IMES was founded almost 40 years ago. We want to help the independent advisor work smarter, not harder. We're going to do that with our great business building tools and resources, and of course, our advanced case design assistance. We assist with life and annuity quotes. We're going to get you those illustrations that you can request from us within about 24 hours, but realistically, you're going to get those much quicker, usually within the hour. Submission to commission support is handled by our new business teams. Mackenzie heads up the annuity team, and Michelle is on the life side. They have fantastic teams who work tirelessly every day to help you get your commission quicker. We're also going to scrub applications, submit them on your behalf, and do the administrative tracking and get you updates on those cases as needed. We do this to ensure that you get commissioned as quickly as possible. And this is a service that we provide to all of our valued producers. It's a way that we help you grow your business by keeping you in front of clients while our team handles that back office support for you. Next is our IMES website. This is a great tool for our producers to use and another reason to work with us here at IMES. Once you are contracted, you're going to have full access to everything you can see on this slide, but in reality, there's a whole lot more at imesinc.com. If you haven't registered for our website, it's very simple to do so. When we're done with this call, go ahead and create an account. We'd love to see you on there. There are a lot of great tools, resources, and forums that are available for you out there, illustration tools, like I said, online forums, product grids, and news, industry updates. They're all out there for you on our website. So as I'm sure you're all aware, technology is where this industry is going, and Luma is our newest partnership to streamline the application process. Most of our carriers are now on our Luma Firelight E platform, so you can go on to one site to submit business. Some carriers are going to e-app only for some of their product lines and will also offer extra comp for utilizing the e-app platform. Make sure you ask your sales director before you submit a paper application because you could earn extra money by just completing and submitting it through the e-app. Creative services. So earlier I did kind of briefly mention our in-house creative services team. They are fully staffed here in-house, and they have turnkey items available for you. Many of our sales resources are white labeled, so we can simply impose your contact information and your business logos onto it. And speaking of logos, if you haven't created a fully customized brand for your agency, we can certainly help with that through our agency solution program. Name recognition grows your natural market organically, and digital marketing solutions are a very popular topic around here at IMES. We can also help you with websites, social media marketing, email marketing, and a whole lot more. The internet and social media sites are where the overwhelming majority of prospects go to for information. So making sure that you're accessible and represented in those marketing lanes is very beneficial to growing your business. You can reach out to me or one of your sales directors when this webinar finishes, and you can talk about how to access the IAMS creative team, and we'll certainly get the ball rolling for you there. We do also offer a complimentary marketing analysis for agents looking to explore new sales ideas and programs. Whether you're new to the industry or a seasoned producer, this free assessment can help you boost your business with insights on your website, digital presence, branding, and current marketing activities, as well as recommendations on trusted vendors for everything from lead generation to seminars and social content. Once again, reach out to your sales director to get started with this. I do want to chat a little bit about IMES Wealth Management. They are our sister company that's an RIA, and we have two different divisions to this. Obviously, for those of you that have your Series 65, this is available for you. But for those of you that don't have your 65, maybe you have been in the industry for a while and you just don't really want to put in the effort to go forward with getting that licensing. We do have our Client Direct program available for you, so you can refer clients over to our wealth management team to assist with the securities portion of the sale while you handle the insurance side of things. And really, when we think about this, when you're going into potential sale and say they only have, or say they have about $500,000 in assets that you're looking at, but maybe only 300,000 of that is suitable for an annuity. If you aren't doing something with that other 200,000, you're leaving the door open for another advisor to come in and potentially steal that client. So we wanted to have a solution for you with our wealth management team. I know we actually had one of our advisors who was working with our wealth management team while he was studying for his Series 65, and by the time he passed his exam, he had about 8 million in AUM, and that was all transferred over to him once he got his license. So we wanted to have a solution for you on all sides of the business so that you can best serve your clients. That's exactly what this is designed for. So I'm going to launch our first poll right now. If you're interested in getting some more information on how to get connected with our IMES Wealth Management team, please go ahead and respond to that there. It's a really great opportunity. Again, whether you're Series 65 licensed or not, we have options for everyone out there. So I'll leave this poll up here for about 30 seconds or so. Please be sure to participate in that. Looks like we're getting some good responses in there, so thank you to those of you that are participating. I'll leave it up for a little bit longer. All righty, perfect. Thanks again to those who have participated. I'll go ahead and end this poll. All righty. Next, I want to chat about our Life and Annuity Academy. We do about 4 or 5 of these a year, usually at our home office here in Omaha. We'll probably start these back up in the spring. Nobody really likes to come out to Omaha in the winter, so taking a little break here during these cold months. But what these academies are is usually about 30 to 35 agents come out to our home office for a 2-day workshop, and it's not going to be life insurance 101 or annuities 101. So if you're brand new to the industry, this may not be for you, but we cover a handful of topics, including sales strategies from some of our top producers that they've found to be successful, marketing strategies from a couple of our marketing partners that we work with, as well as presentations from a few of our carrier partners on their products and their service and any new updates. But really what I think is the most valuable part of these academies is being able to network with other people in the industry that are having success, learning what they're doing that's been good for them, and taking some of those connections that you make and implementing some of those ideas into your practice when you go back home. And I'll go ahead and launch another poll here, but I do also want to let you all know that we on February 4th, we will be doing our Ascend event, which is a 4-hour virtual meeting that we do to kick off the year. And basically, a lot of similar things. We're going to have some great keynote speakers, actually going to have a Nobel Prize winning economist on there. Robert Engel is going to be giving a presentation, and just a lot of things looking at what the market outlook is for the year, industry updates, things that IMES is going to be rolling out to begin the year. So if you're interested in learning more about life and annuity academies or our Ascend event, please respond to that poll there. These are great opportunities to help you grow your business, jumpstart your marketing, and really increase and reach those goals for the new year. We'll leave the poll up here for another 20 seconds or so while we're getting some results in. All righty, good stuff. Thank you to those who participated once again. And I'm going to pass it off to Andre now with SILAC. And before I do that, if you have any questions as we're going throughout his presentation or slides or anything like that, feel free to throw your questions in that question box. We'll be sure to get those answered here before the end of the webinar. Andre, I'm making you a producer or a presenter, excuse me, and you should be able to go ahead and share your screen there.
I appreciate it, Isaiah. Just give me 2 seconds. We'll share the screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep, looks good.
Excellent. Well, good morning, everyone. Appreciate the opportunity to get in front of you again and just talk about our platform. My name is Andre Thompson. I'm a regional vice president with SILAC. And what I want to do today is just basically go over the products that we offer, some initiatives that we are looking to kick off in 2026, and then obviously finish out with some of our rewards programs for our agents and advisors that do business with us. So I use this just because a lot of questions come up about the transition. We are currently in the process of being the full acquisition of SILAC going over to Hildene Capital, which manages over 18 billion assets under management. Jefferies Bank is also involved in this transaction because they see the value in what we're doing. And so at the end of the day, it's only going to strengthen and add more capital to our platform. So these are our financials prior to this whole acquisition being started. As you can see, it's triple B and B, and our RBC ratio is well over 800%. What you're going to find once this deal closes, ideally, hopefully at the end of the first quarter, is that AM Best is going to do another sweep of our review, and we'll see where the cards lie. But at the end of the day, we're going to have more capital, more resources. So at the end, that will provide us to be able to have more innovation as far as products and some things that are going to be value added for you as an agent and advisor. Some initiatives that we will be rolling out in 2026, as you can see here, sorry, the slide kind of overrides, but our goal is trying to hit between 3 to 3.5 billion in FIA sales. What we're going to help to do that is add more to our portfolio as far as product options. So one of those is going to be adding Denali and Denali Bonus 5 in the 5-year space. So if you're familiar with Teton, we have a 5-year product, which I'll go over. This is now going to add another option in that space where you're going to get some higher crediting rate and still those same liquidity options. We're going to make some tweaks on Vega, which is a legacy play, but you can also turn on income. But we're going to make some tweaks that we're going to be really strong in certain particular markets. And then our Evolve, which is our income option right now in our portfolio, we're going to be making some changes there to really dive in kind of that hybrid space as far as adding not only great accumulation, but income options. So you have an avenue there. And then we're also going to be looking to get in the guaranteed income space because that's a very competitive market. And we know that you need to be in kind of the top 3, if you will, to be in that space. And that's the goal that we're looking to initiate in 2026. The partnership with Index Standard. Index Standard is a third-party service. They're not tied to SILAC, but if you're familiar with Morningstar as far as like investments, they are basically the Morningstar of index options and allocations. So it's a third-party service, and they basically are able to outline what would make potentially the most sense to allocate depending on the particular index options we have in our portfolio. So you and many other agents are going to have that at your fingertips as you do more business with us, but we're also going to start having some marketing pieces about renewals and things of that nature. So it's another tool to help position SILAC to your clients where it fits. And then the final piece here is Horizon introduction, and I will go over this, and I'm very excited about it because it basically is now adding another layer for agents to do business with us and receive additional compensation. And what I'll do is just dive right into it right now. Horizon is something that we are initiating 2026. It is live now, and here are some of the incentives that it basically ties into. So in 2026, we're going to have 3 incentive tiers. The first one is Ember. If you're writing 10 million plus with us, we have an agent bonus that pays 2 points retro back to $1. You become part of our player circle and Ember trips where you get invited to go to certain events. Player circle is basically our top 60 agents that qualify are able to go to our rewards trips. And then you have expedited concierge service by being an Ember. The Inner Circle program is for agents and advisors, right, between 2.5 to 10 million of production. And you can see, depending on that number, you can either get a 0.5 point or a 1.5 points of additional compensation by doing that. So it is tiered. 2.5 is the minimum to get that 0.50%, and it ratchets up every 2.5 million, another 0.5 point. You are able to qualify again for the Players Circle trip. Again, it's the top 60. You have Inner Circle access, which is that Inner Circle platform to where, again, it's expedited services, white glove, basically trying to make sure we're doing everything we can to make sure your business goes as smooth as possible. And we're partnering with IMS on that. So at the end of the day, you're our client. We want to make sure we take care of you. And one way of doing that is obviously good customer service. And then you'll see some curated gift opportunities that we'll send out throughout the year for those agents that qualify in that platform. Now, the final tier is our Horizon platform. And you can see here between 1 to 2.5 million now, we are going to add an additional 25 basis points retro back to $1. So if you're on the fence or not familiar with our platform, this might be a great way to dip your toe in. You're going to get additional service, not expedited, but you can see you can get your business done between 2 to 4 business days. We're going to give some curated gifting opportunities, but again, also additional compensation for doing business with us. So what I'll go through is our platform and how, depending on what you're looking for, it might make sense to look at our products. And here's our portfolio. So if you're not familiar with it, we have Teton, Denali, Evolve, Vega. Those are our FIA options. Teton and Denali are accumulation-focused FIAs. Denali has higher caps and interest rates. The offset of that is it has interest recovery. And when interest recovery, I want you to think of like a vesting schedule within a 401k. I'll just give you an example. If you had a $10,000 case with us, and let's say it grew to $1,000 in interest over the next 2 years, if you were to leave the contract early, what happens is we're going to recoup some of that interest. We don't recoup the principal. That is separate to surrender charges, but the interest recovery is tied to just leaving the contract early or doing an excess withdrawal before the contract period. Then you have the riders on top of that for both Teton and Denali, and that adds an extra bonus and liquidity. On my next slide, I'll show you what I mean there. Evolve, again, is our income option, but it also has good accumulation value. And like with some other products where you might have income and no account value, Evolve gives you a little bit more flexibility to have strong income with some account value growth in the contract. And then finally, Vega is our wealth transfer play, what I mentioned there. We're going to be making some enhancements, but you do have the option to turn on income, increasing or lifetime income, but I can tell you many agents are using this as a wealth transfer because of that enhanced death benefit and the multipliers that allow you to get our big, robust benefit value to either, like I said, pass on to your heirs, or if you need to tap into it for your own personal needs as far as income or wellness benefits, that is available too. So here are our bonus numbers for our various products, and you can see right now with Teton and Denali, you can get up to 20% bonus all the way up to age 80 for our products. And then when you add, let me back up. Our non-elevation option, you can see the bonuses are between 7 to 15% depending on duration and age. Then if you add the elevation plus rider, then you can see those bonuses go up. On our 5-year goes up another 2 points. Our 7-year goes up 3, and then obviously on our 10 and 14-year goes up additional 5 points. That elevation plus rider is a 100 basis point spread. It only applies to the contract period. It will never take your account value backwards. So years that the index, if it's flat, we don't apply a spread and we don't try to recoup any of that spread for those years that the index is flat, if that happens. You do have an option to do elevation or elevation plus. Elevation is a 50 basis point spread. Elevation plus with the additional bonus is, again, a 100 basis point spread, not taking your account value backwards. So diving into our 5-year option, and this is what we really lead with. If you're not familiar with our platform or thinking or you're on the fence about doing business with this 5-year option is a great way to basically create a short-term rate alternative. If you have clients that are looking in the MYGAs or CDs, this is a nice alternative to look at. You can see, again, it's a 5-year focused FIA, but it provides 30% cumulative withdrawals. And if you're not familiar with what that term is, it basically says you get 10% free withdrawals. And if for whatever reason that client doesn't take that 10%, it goes to 20, 20 goes to 30. So essentially, you at the end of year 3, you have 30% if the client does not use that free withdrawal amount to reposition to another product, or if their needs change. So it's almost like a 3-year rate, if you will, to where you're able to move some money. And then the remaining 2 years, you have the last of that contract period, and then you can move the remaining funds of the money to something else or renew to another 5-year. It does give you flexibility to do that. I will say if you do renew to another 5-year contract with us, it is fully commissionable. And you can see there's bonus and non-bonus options, but a 9% bonus on a 5-year FIA is strong. And then as you can see, the street compensation is 6.75. Now, if you combine that with that Horizon bonus program that we have where you get an extra 25 bips, you essentially can get 7% on a 5-year FIA. And I don't know if there's many options out there that are going to give you good crediting. Our cap in many states is 7.25 on our 5-year, fixed rates over 3%, and you're getting that 9% bonus depending on the state and what you're going for. So a very strong story, short-term rate alternative is how we rephrase it. Now, just to dive in what the liquidity and accumulation can look like on Teton, I want to give you a scenario to where we're going to look at a client age 65, you have $100,000, and again, the goal is accumulation liquidity, and we're using our Teton 10 with elevation. So keep in mind that is going to be a 50 basis point spread. We're going to allocate to various options, the S&P, the par rate, S&P monthly average, and 25% to the fixed. So that annual effective yield is 6.23%. Here's what our illustration software looks like. And as you can see, that $100,000 at age 65, we do reflect the annual effective yield. So your client can see that. And then we just start going down the line. You have that 30% cumulative withdrawal. You'll see that's the next to last column right before the total benefit. And it'll tell you the values if you do not use that free withdrawal amount. And at the end of 10 years, you basically grown this account by $179,352. So it's a solid story. And then if you're in the contract still after year 15, it's $238,850. So you more than double that asset. But it does give you some flexibility, again, where you have the cumulative withdrawals, the flexibility to move money as you see fit and reposition that asset if need be. Now, if I go to Denali, again, Denali, originally when we got into the FIA space in year 3, this was our #1 seller, but it's been a great story, especially if you have clients that want stronger accumulation and understand that that interest recovery is in play and are comfortable with that. So I'm going to go over Denali bonus. And here's the scenario that we're going to put here. So with Denali bonus, we're going to add the elevation plus rider. And remember, that is a 100 basis point spread. So basically 1%, it'll never take your client's account value backwards. And you can see we're trying to get additional accumulation. And we're going to allocate to the S&P, some of our vol indexes like Duo Swift, Bloomberg, annual point to point, and then the NASDAQ. So that annual effective yield is higher, 8.52%. So this is what it looks like on illustration. That 100,000 right off the bat, because you're getting that 20% bonus, the account value is 120,000. If the client were to pass away in that first year, that's what would pass on to their beneficiaries. As you can see, it's reflected in the death benefit, 120,000. Now, after 10 years, you can see that we more than double that asset at 261,000. Remember, on Teton, it was about 179,000 using that same scenario. So you can see how you can get additional accumulation with higher crediting rates using Denali. By the end of 20 years, it's 615,000. More than likely, someone's going to move this money before then, but you can see the strong accumulation and the flexibility that you have with those cumulative withdrawals. And if you need to pivot and move some of those funds prior to the end of the surrender charge period. Now, we ask this question a lot, is like, if we had an income solution where you could get 20% premium bonus, 20% income bonus, and a 9.75 roll-up rate, is that a story that you could position with your clients, especially if they know that they want to tap into leveraging some type of income down the line? Well, you do have that at your fingertips with our particular product, Evolve. And you could see the bonus structures are the same, 20% on our 10 and 14-year contract, and then 13%. Now, that bonus, again, goes to the income and the premium bonus. So that's a great story right off the bat, because some products don't necessarily offer that. We're giving you both on this Evolve product. Now, that 9.75 roll-up rate is going to be tied to this. So here's how our roll-ups play out. You can see for the first 20 years, you get a 6% roll-up rate. Where I'm getting that 9.75 is I'm basically allocating 100% to the fixed account, which is 3.75 on our 10-year contract. You combine that with that 6%, that's where you're getting that 9.75. But even outside of those, the first 20 years, you can see how you can do an additional 3% roll-up rate from years 21 through 30. So after that particular point, roll-up rate falls off. Now, there is a spread of 1.5 basis points on this. Now, for this particular product, the spread does not fall off. It's always going to be there, but the spread only applies to the account value, not the income value. And to show you where this kind of competes, I know the slide might be kind of small for people on the screen. I apologize for that. But you can see here are some of the companies that we're competing with in this space, where you have a no-fee rider, again, just a spread, and who's competitive in those particular pockets. And in many scenarios, Evolve 10 and our Evolve 7 bonus and non-bonus are going to be right there at the top, if not the top, when you're looking at projected income in this particular space with no fee. And in this scenario, we're looking at another 60-year-old, we put in 100,000, and we deferred income for 5 years at age 64. I know some scenarios, clients are looking at income in basically 12 months. That product, I will say, the longer that you wait, the stronger it is, but we have seen pockets where we are competitive in year 3 on using the Evolve product. Now I'm gonna quickly go into Vegan to show you some of the features on this product. First and foremost is you get a 50% benefit bonus right off the bat. So to give you an example of, if you had a $500,000 and you used our Vega bonus product on our 17 or 14 year, that $500,000 would be $750 day one. That would be paid out to their beneficiaries over a 5-year period if they were to pass away prematurely. You have the multipliers here. So to again give you another math example, if you used our Vega 14 non-bonus, it's a 300% multiplier. If you got a 4% interest credit, you would add that 300% multiplier. The client would get 12% benefit, or 12% to their benefit value, and that's where the income and all the juice of the contract is, as far as wellness benefits, income benefits. It's all tied to that benefit value. I just touched on the wellness, meaning if the client can't do 2 out of 6 activities of daily living, you're now able to access that for 5 years. It's going to double that income benefit. And if for whatever reason there is still value even after using that wellness benefit, then that income stream would continue at the amount that it initially started with. Then an unlimited enhanced death benefit in most states, again, that's basically where I like to call it a poor man's trust, because if that benefit value is $1 million, what is going to happen is we are going to pay that $1 million out over a 5-year period in most states, that and over a 5-year period, regardless of the state. But unlimited enhanced death benefit is tied to certain states. Like, for example, Pennsylvania does not have an unlimited enhanced death benefit. So it is a great tool, again, for a legacy play. They're not having to, the beneficiaries are not having to pay that tax right out the bat, because you're able to spread that out over 5 years. And now all this available is to you and your clients at no charge, so it's a strong story. Now what I want to do is basically show you how we can incorporate the 3 products I just went over, where we're going to tie in Teton, we're going to tie in Evolve, and we're going to tie in Vega. So we're going to do a laddering strategy. And you can see the goals here are income in 5 years. We're going to do legacy and flexibility. And in this scenario, we're going to use somebody $55.5 million. And as I stated, we're going to leverage our Teton 5 for short-term rate alternative, our Evolve bonus 10, which again is going to get you that 20% bonus, and then Vega bonus 14, which is going to get you that 50% benefit bonus. And just to keep things simple, to not even say that we're doing like kind of an indexing game, we're just going to allocate 50% to the fixed and 50% to the S&P annual point-to-point par rate. So here's how we're going to break out those funds of that $500,000. $25,000 is going to go to Teton. And you can see that the goal here is if there's something uncertainty, you want some liquidity. Again, short-term rate alternative, you have flexibility after 5 years, and you still have those cumulative withdrawal options. Then we're going to do the bulk of the money in the Evolve bonus. So $350,000, we're going to basically turn on income starting in year 6. But the key thing here is that you're able to still maintain account value and flexibility if the client needs to pivot for whatever reason. And then we're going to round this out with the Vega bonus product. And again, you're going to put 125,000 in, you get that 50% benefit bonus, but we're going to ladder that income in starting in year 11. And if they don't tap into it, again, that's a legacy play for their beneficiaries and heirs. So here's how it plays out looking at the illustration. So that 55,000, you can see that because of the bonuses, you have 570,000 of account value and 633,000, and that's that 50% benefit bonus on Vega. That's why those 2 amounts are different. Now, if you start looking kind of the yield and return that you're getting on that money after 5 years, you can see the account value is 667 and the death benefit 764. And it's because of those multipliers that are why the numbers are different. And again, that 50% benefit bonus on Vega. And then we're going to start income. And we're using that Evolve contract, we're using level income. And you can see here, you're able to pull out 27,755. And we started income in year 6. And after year 10, you can see the total amount of income you've been able to generate. You still have strong account value growth at 673, and you can see that death benefit is still at 833,742. Everything grew. Now, you're basically rewarding yourself for living, because now we're going to tap into that Vega contract. And again, we at the initial outline of this scenario, we said we wanted to start income in year 11. So after essentially 4 years of taking income, you can see that you're pulling out 47,000 now. Your total income is 366 that you pulled out over that period of time from year 6 to year 15. So you're almost pulled out what you put into the product, but you still have over $500,000 of account value growth. And again, if they pass away, they would have 645,166 to pass their beneficiaries. The story continues to get stronger. Your income grows because we're using increasing income on the Vega contract. You've now pulled out more than what you put in. It's 624,917. You still have account value growth of 404,000, and you can see that's what the death benefit would be. Now we're in year 25. You got 61,239 of income. You've almost pulled out over 900,000. You can see 919,000. but you still have some account value of 334,545. And again, that's what the death benefit would be. And in most income scenarios, as we all know, you're not going to have that account value growth. You're basically locked in. If something changed and they wanted to pivot, maybe there's something out there that's better, you're able to do so because you have some account value growth. And that's really the story that we're promoting here, is flexibility with also providing a strong income story. And then after 30 years, the client's still in the contract, you have 74,000 in income. You've now pulled out 1.2 total of income over that time period of from year 6 all the way to year 30. The client's 85 now. And as you can see, you still have some account value growth. Now, keep in mind, this also takes into account that you had that 5-year product. Now, you could have repositioned an asset after 5 years, but if you add that to this mix, you can still see that there's still a strong story there. And that's where that 272,815 is coming from. Now, I want to show you one other scenario, and this is directly dialed into a legacy play, taking an IRA contract. And this is for clients that basically have an IRA balance that they're not going to use and they want to pass this on to their heirs. So we did some assumptions here. We got a client age 65, married, filing jointly. We assumed some other taxable income like 401k and assumed the tax deduction for 2025 was 31,000 and their tax rate's 32%. The goal here again is legacy planning and minimizing a tax burden to their heirs. That's the goal. So what do we do for that? We're going to basically do a conversion of that IRA. So you're going to pay those taxes of 160,000. That's not a small number. I recognize that. However, when you put and leverage the Vega contract with that 50% benefit bonus, that $500,000 is now already up to 518. So you've been able to recoup a lot of that asset right off the bat day one. Now, the trade-off here is that you no longer have upfront tax, so there's no future RMDs. Again, it's a legacy play. The asset grows tax-free, and the heirs inherit that benefit tax-free over kind of the 10-year distribution rule. So what do those numbers look like? Just to kind of give you an example, after paying the tax, you basically have 340,000, right, of initial deposit. We did the same scenario like we did the laddering strategy where we just put 50% in the fixed and then 50% to the S&P par rate. So the annual effective yield is very conservative, 3.34. But keep in mind, you're having those multipliers on this contract, so that's what's also driving this story. And you can see how over time, from year 1 to all the way to year 20, that asset can grow tax-free. So that $500,000 is now 1.3 million at the end of 20 years. And that, again, would pass on to the heirs tax-free. So you can see how this can be a very strong legacy play. And for clients that maybe, I'll say, can't qualify for life insurance, this might be a nice alternative to look at a Vega contract with these benefit values as far as a legacy play for their clients. So what I want to do is just round this out and just again go over our bonus structure, because if one of those products fits and you run with it and you're able to do some of these numbers, you can see how this is going to affect you on the bottom line as far as your overall business. So I'll start from the bottom up. Again, if you write 0.5 to a million, you're going to get 25 basis points. There's no particular service category for that, but we're basically rewarding you for doing business with us at a $500,000. Then once you get up to a million, you can see that you get the Horizon platform, you're still getting that 25 basis points from 1 million to 2.5. And then from 2.5 to $500,000, you can see you get a 50 basis point spread, retro back to $1. I shouldn't say spread, a 50 basis point additional compensation. And you get the inner circle where that's that concierge program where basically things are done within 24 to 48 hours. And then it ratchets up to 5 million to 7.5. We're giving you a full point, inner circle qualification. And then 7.5 to 10 million is $1.5 million. Basically, it's 9,999,000. Once you hit the 10, you're going to get to the 2% benchmark, and that's part of the Ember platform. That Ember platform, I can tell you, part of an advisory board. You get to meet our CEO, Dan Aker, and Steve Hilbert, and along with our executive membership team. And you also get to rub shoulders, like Isaiah said, with other like-minded advisors to get to talk and learn about strategy and what makes the most sense for your practice and help you grow. So that's the whole goal of the Ember program, is one, to basically let us know what you think would be value added, but two, also be able to rub shoulders with other advisors in your field and talk about strategies that make the most sense and what's effective. Now, once you've done all that, I'll talk about our trip, and that is going to be in Florence, Italy, a great location. This is a picture from our marketing team that put this together, and you can see for the qualification period, here's where we're going to be staying. The St. Regis Florence, we bought out basically the whole hotel. And if any of you that are on this call joined our trips, you know they're top notch. We've gotten rave reviews about how we put a rewards trip together. So if you haven't been able to, I hope that one of you or all of you would like to basically join. You can see the minimum qualification is $5 million in premium. We take the top 60, but there again, you're basically, it is your trip, your reward. So it's not basically tied down. We're in all meetings. We want you to enjoy your time there, get to know us and our platform. And obviously, like I said, get to know other advisors that are also successful. So with that being said, I will kick it back over to Isaiah. If you have any questions, again, my name is Andre Thompson with SILAC, and you can also email our sales inbox, and we can definitely get back to you, sales@silacins.com. So I do appreciate the time, and I'll leave it open for questions and send it back to you, Isaiah.
Awesome. Thank you, Andre. I am going to go ahead and launch a poll here real quick. Our final poll, if you're interested in learning more about how to get appointed with SILAC, feel free to respond there. Does look like we have okay, looks like we had someone that joined late. I actually will be sending out a recording of this webinar later on today. So if you joined late and missed part of this webinar here, I'll be getting a recording out to all the registrants and attendees, so you can catch up on everything that we covered via that recording. So it looks like that was the only question that we had there. Perfect. Still got some time to get those questions in or respond to this poll that we got up. I'll leave it open for a little bit longer here. Looks like we're getting some good responses on the poll there. So thank you to those of you who are participating. All righty, I will go ahead and close this poll. And then I will share my screen here real quick just to wrap up. So please feel free to connect with us on Facebook and LinkedIn. It's a great way to stay up to date on industry news and any new happenings going on over here at IAMS. We'd love to see you guys connect with us on there. And lastly, there's our contact information. If you have any questions about anything that we covered here today during the webinar, feel free to give us a call at 800-255-5055, or you can visit our website, imsinc.com, to check out all of the resources and everything that we have available to you on there. Otherwise, that's all that we have for you today, folks. Thank you so much again for joining us. Andre, thank you for taking some time to hop on with us today and talk about SILAC, and hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Thanks, guys.